I arrived in Smethwick in 1958, February. In those days, groceries and atta were delivered at home. The system was that Indian grocery shops, not many, or some also didn't have shop, but they used to buy from the wholesalers and distribute. The system was that on Fridays, the delivery person delivered in a box the groceries which were ordered on Wednesday or Tuesday. The groceries in Oxford Road, where we were living, we have 3 groups in the house who having their cooking arrangement as a group together, and each group ordered their grocery what they wanted to eat during the week. Our grocery was delivered, and the other groups by Jasmeer Singh Rai. They have their store in Wolverhampton. It was about 3-4 months after. He used to come to deliver grocery on Friday and leave the order book in the grocery to write down all the groceries in a book. And he used to come to collect the book on Wednesday and then take the book to his shop and prepare the grocery pack and deliver on Friday, all for 3 groups. And I found in the box membership cards of the Indian Workers Association. And the title of the Indian Workers South Staffordshire Indian Workers Association. At that time, it was not centralized. So I asked my brother, and he informed me that this is association, they hold function, Indian Independence Day, Vaisakhi Day, in Wolverhampton. And occasionally they went to attend those functions. And on the membership card was the aims and objectives of the Indian Workers Association. And he said, ask Jasmeer Singh if you want to have more information. When he came to collect the book in the evening on Wednesday, so I asked him the questions, and he spent about half an hour to explain what Indian Work Association, what they do. So I asked him to bring the application form next time he comes. He said he has to ask the committee. I said, you ask the committee and have the authorization to give application forms. About 2 weeks later, he brought the application form, which I completed, and some who were not members of the Indian Work Association, they also completed. And about 2 weeks later, after taking the application form, he brought our membership card. So this is how I joined the Indian Work Association. At that time, I was working in Shorten Brothers, where Kirti's nephew was working as well, and Darshan Singh, he was working, and several other Indians. I asked Jasveer, Darshan about enrolling membership of the Indian Work Association. And Darshan said, you need to ask each person. I said, okay. In the meantime, I also met Kirti. He was living on Tatwink Road at that time. And his nephew was living with him. I went with Jasveer and had it about an hour talk with Kirti. And he said, in Birmingham, there is no Indian Work Association. But he said there is in Southall, Coventry. And I asked him if he is interested. He said in Southall, he was a member of Indian Work Association. I asked Jasmeer Singh to have some application forms. So at my workplace, I completed about 20 forms. Other people who were not member of the association at our house, I completed there. And Darshan contacted Sarban, Badipandwala. And that way we start recruiting membership. I don't exactly remember how many members we recruited, but I can say that a couple of hundreds in halfway in 1958. And then I asked Jasmeer, what now? And he said that we have to contact Indian Work Association in Coventry, Southall and London. I asked him why. He said, you need to consult them forming the branch because these organizations are in the process of forming one centralized body. After my contact, Ratan Singh from London, he came and met us. And we used to hold meeting in our houses. And as a result of his visit, we called a meeting of the membership at Crockett's Lane School. About 150 members they attended, and the committee was elected. A person from Shankar village, Sarban Singh, he became secretary of the branch. I became assistant secretary. Sant Singh Shatta, he was living in Austin. He became president of the branch. So branch started functioning, and member for their task like income tax form completion, writing letters to India, other paperwork, making unemployment claim, that, and also the committee of the Indian Work Association have good discussion how to tackle the discrimination in the public houses and other areas. We held meetings collectively, and then Jarnail Singh from Jandiala village, he had a house number 4 on Regent Road, and he agreed to let his front room not on rent but on Saturday to hold surgery for membership over there. So Darshan, me, Jasveer, 3-4 of us there doing the paperwork of the members. Sarban Singh, who was the secretary, he gave up the secretaryship about 9 months after he was elected, and I became secretary of the branch. Sant Singh Shatter remained the president, and the branch started functioning, and taking the issue of the public war, discrimination, not in an intensive way. The general attitude among Indians and members, oh, this is all right, what we can do, yeah. And but we, with Joshi, Shaman Lal, we impressed upon the committee members that it need to be challenged. So committee agreed to challenge, and committee organized pub crawls with the cooperation of the students from Birmingham University and Austin University, and some of them who happens to be members of Communist Party in Young Communist League, and some from the Socialist Workers' Party. We organized pub crawls whereby the white members went in, students, followed by 4 people, not many, to go, and we were refused the drinks. On that evidence, the committee decided to oppose the licenses of the licensees. And there was one provision in the law of the license. The licensee has the right to refuse drink without giving reason to any person, without giving any explanation, and ask the person to leave the premises. But we consulted solicitor in Birmingham, Arthur Allwright, and it was in 1959, late 1959, we filed objections to the renewal of licenses of 3 pubs. One, that pub which is still near to the Gurdwara on Trinity Road. Before the Gurdwara, turn left, it is on the corner. One pub was Waterloo Inn, Selliala pub, and another one was Blue Gate. 3 pubs. The objection, very able solicitor led by him, and the student Birmingham University, they came to give evidence, and as a matter of our objection, all 3 licenses were put on warning that it is against not the licensing law, but it is blatant discrimination, and they were put on warning. But the problem was, the solicitor told us that racial discrimination is not unlawful. And he said to us, it is good they have the warning, but there is nothing more we can do on that. But we persisted and continue on that, which continued the fight until the first Race Relation Act in 1965, which was very weak. It was Race Relation Board was formed, and local committees were formed, and where discrimination took place, complaint made, and the approach was conciliation between the 2 parties. And Indian Work Association won few conciliations, whereas the pubs changed their policy. But other pubs still continued by making excuse that the room is booked for the private meeting. Again, we did pub crawls with these white students going in first. They got the drink. IWA members going after. They were refused that there is a meeting in this room. At that time, the white student approached the counter, challenging that we came, we were not told there is a meeting. And on that evidence, we reported that to the Resolution Board, not opposing the license. And through the Resolution Board, and they were told to abandon that policy to start. And another form of discrimination, all the black and Asians were given beer glasses with handle, and all the white customers with plain glasses. So that was discrimination. That was reported to the Resolution Board.
Why the differentiation between the two types of glasses?
One with the handle and the other one plain.
So what difference did that make?
The difference was why no plain glasses for Indians and black Afro-Caribbeans.
So was it a question of the plain glasses being viewed as more sophisticated?